Hello everyone, how are you today? My name is Shegun Olo once again. If you're online, this is a very good time to do this. I am talking about a topic that's already very clear. As you can see right there on your screen, let me punch that again. That's it. Buhari or Jibrin of Sudan, who is actually in Aso Rock. I know some of you say, Shegun, this afternoon you want to cross the national red line. No, far from it. We have to do some things that are very critical, because if we don't continue to talk about things that are essential in our polity, we continue to miss it all. If I don't discuss something that should affect my life, affect my constituency, affect Nigeria and our nationality, should I be discussing sports? It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't affect that of my children. Should I be discussing shaku shaku? Well, we'll have fun, but we'll always come back to the same critical matter. So this time, I want to quickly look at, and we are going to be doing this together. So we are going to be discussing whether it is true, the allegation that the man in Aso Rock is actually not Buhari, or whether he's actually Buhari, but they are just allegations for mere sheer propaganda. Well, let us go quickly into the matter. What are the reasons why we should believe that the allegation is correct, that it is not Buhari, but certain Jibrin from Sudan? Well, I brought out a few points to help us see why there are facts, there are some things that may give credence to that allegation. Let us not exclude it. Let us not zero our mind completely off. But at the same time, are there some things that have been exaggerated to make it look like embellishment altogether? Well, let us look at what are the facts that may give it credence to say that person in Aso Rock is not Buhari. And what are the also other issues that may make us say, no, let us dismiss it, it is not true. Well, I am of the opinion, before I even push ahead, that anytime such allegations come out, we should always strive, make efforts to clarify them, not to run away from them. The reason being that, what if it is true that a stranger is ruling the country? The danger it portends is that it will open our borders to strange alien things that we do not even want, and at the end of the day we'll end up even losing our own voices and our identity and nationality. But it is also important that we don't let those allegations ruin us if they are baseless or falsehoods. So it is very important that we discuss these things and not shy away or run away from them. And that's exactly the reason I'm doing what I'm doing this afternoon. So let me also make it clear that if we do not clarify issues like this, and it turns out to be true at the end of the day, then it may result in some disaster. Don't you think so? Because it would be disastrous for us to eventually find out that we have, all the whiles they have been taking all our national resources away just because some persons impose themselves on us without us even knowing. So it will be problematic. And we should also not forget that things like this, if not treated with care, may also result in. So it's better we always lay each matter to rest and not just run away or make destructive analysis of them. So let's get the points clear. What are the matters or issues that give credence or lend credence to the allegation that it may be true after all? And this is one of them. The secrecy that surrounds President Buhari's health and his treatment in London. A lot of you will recall that at that point, even we were not told how much what he was being treated for. We were told he went through a series of surgeries. We weren't told the nature of them. We were also told that at some point in time he lost his voice, he couldn't talk again. At some point we were told. So there were also defenses from presidency. Allegations and counter allegations, they continued for a very long time until eventually we decided, okay, let us even hear the president. And then at some point they began to churn out pictures to us, still pictures, so much that it was also denied at another time that the pictures they were giving to us were pictures of old time before he even felt sick at all. So it was also said that Aisha Buhari went to see him in London, but she wasn't given the audience, she wasn't allowed to see her husband. Hey, what could be etching? So those things made a lot of people believe to say, if you cast your mind back, there were facts that surrounded that thing that may give you credence that could it be true that, should this be or should it not be? Well, while we are still ruminating about that, another reason why I said we need to also look at this, and it may, if not immediately clarified, have some credence after all, is what I bring out as number two reason. Number two reason here, Aisha Buhari was prevented from seeing husband during the period alleged, and it was also reported that Aisha Buhari herself came out, fuming, angry, and she started exposing a whole lot of things because she also believed that the wrong husband was given to her. At least the owner of husband will know her husband now. Well, let me let you see this headlines of the time. Can you see the exclusive? Aisha Buhari banned from meeting with her sick husband Buhari for 6 months. Well, does it have veracity? Another topic altogether. But that's not my own job yet. My own job is to ask us, if we look at all these things, would we see credence in all of these things? Well, having said that, what is the third reason that may give credence to this allegation after all? There were no videos or words of address by PMB until the allegedly cloned person was completely trained in PMB's mannerism, according to, I am not the one who alleged, but he who alleges must substantiate with evidence. But so far, those are the things that give credence to the allegations, so they make it look seeming. But I don't want to end it there. I want to give you a fourth credence, which is this: the historical example of Yaradua and the notorious cabal. Are you following? Aha. So if you say it doesn't matter, that of Yaradua also began like allegation. Allegation is not true, counter allegation, threats, stop saying this, you are crossing national red line. Until it turned out someday that it was actually true. And then the cabal was trying to, impose themselves. Maybe that cabal has now worked things out perfectly now that, yes, this time we don't have to come out and say it is true because we don't have anything to do. We can actually have a clone that will continue the show. So, things like this, because over the time in history we have learned not to take allegations with a pinch of grain anymore. That is why it is important that when we have allegations as such, yes, the onus is on the shoulder of the person who has also alleges to either prove with fact or dismiss by remaining silent or retracting it. But in the face of the absence of clarity and in the face of the absence of evidence so far, I cannot tilt to either side by saying it is true or it is not true. It is still upon the shoulder of the person who so alleged to provide the proof. Well, the proof provided so far, I don't want to put something that looks insulting to the president or presidency. That image that circulated online at the time of President Muhammadu Buhari with this thing on his nose, oxygen and chemotherapy equipment around him on bed, looking see he was dead. But I don't want to put down the book. You already saw that, but that was not convincing enough, so to say. But it looked like, because in the age of Photoshop and all of that, you never could tell exactly. But there's still onus on the persons who so allege, or even all of us as a country, to prove or disprove it. Something might be true, but we have to be careful at the same time. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the facts or issues or factors that give credence to the allegation. But on the other hand, does it therefore mean it is exclusively true because it was so alleged? No. And that's where I want to also play the devil's advocate by saying that he who alleges must always substantiate with evidence. As a result, I want to plead that we don't take it we don't just take it as we are told. We have job to do, serious job to do, by letting us know whether it is true or false. Before I start taking comments, I want to also say, okay, I had some images to illustrate why I said what I said, the things that I've said so far. This is a flash story from Sahara Reporters, that the photos that were being circulated at the time, were for propaganda purposes, and they were trying to make it look as if Aisha Buhari actually met Buhari, but that it wasn't true. That the photos, according to their own analysis at the time, because there's actually a tool we can use on the internet to determine if something is true or false. Yes, there's an EXIF tool that you can use to check a picture to know the date and the place where it was taken. So they ran that test and discovered that it was actually not true. The pictures were not, as of the time, picture of Buhari and Aisha, but it was a prearranged photo prior to the time. Well, whether that is true or false, Aisha Buhari was not coming out until this time to criticize everything about the other. And then we also heard that Aisha Buhari has been avoiding Zauza room with this Jibrin. I don't know how true. We joke too much in this country. Stop it, stop the joke. All right, let's go on. So what is your own reaction to this? I'm sorry if you're watching on Facebook, because I'm running simultaneously on YouTube and Facebook today. If you're watching on Facebook, the comments I'm reading are not going to be from Facebook, they are from YouTube. So let me go ahead and read comment. We want to make this broadcast as short as possible, so it's going to be just those that are online as of the time this broadcast is live. So if you're online, let me hear your voice. What's your own belief? All right, let's start from the top. Stephen Crean say it is Jibril or Jibrin. Well, whichever one is true, we still have rights or duty to prove it. Okay, all right. So Stephen says, "Hi Shegun, you're welcome. I'm live this afternoon." Yes. Olani Yadu say it's just one of those lies, Jare. Well, as much as I also want to believe so, we don't take things with a pin of salt. And I want you guys to quickly remember that there was a time in the recent past where former President Umar Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory was also allegedly, allegedly passed, and we didn't know. Some certain cabal were scamming the country, making us believe that he was still signing a document for them to come and cash out back at home. So that would be disastrous, like I said, if it turns out to be true. So which is why we don't want to, even though we don't want to accept it as alleged at this time, we also want to be careful not to, just leave it out outright without checking to be sure it is true or false, because it will be disastrous at the end of the day if it turns out to be true. That would be a shame, big shame of a nation. Well, let's go back to the comments now. Nigeria has been hijacked by the cabal. This is unacceptable. That's according to Susan McDonald. That's not me. Femi Mario says, happy weekend to you, Mr. Shegun. Thank you so much, Femi Mario. You're welcome on the show. Maxwell J. Stone, Shegun, you come online anytime, my brother. I don't get specific time. Nah. No, say this country, you guys be careful. You guys go find money, you guys go find how you go survive. So in the small time will remain shaking, whether na weekend or daytime, you go just but beg anytime. That's why I said please use the notification button bell on the channel. Click it so that anytime you're online you can always get notification. It doesn't have to be any specific time. If I set specific time, most times I don't meet those times, and I want to apologize about that. But what is important and most important to us now is that we are able to run the show and be able to talk about the germane issues. All right, so back to the comments now. The man is Buhari and nobody else, Jare. Well, we were told that he had to go through some surgery. So it is possible somebody goes through surgery and comes out better. So the analysis of the hair, the notched hair, or the shape of the hair that people were displaying on the internet, well, if you undergo surgery, people do even what you call rhinoplastic surgery, where somebody that has my type of flat nose can come back and have pointed nose. Is it not possible? Nigerians. But let us not, while we are waiting for proof, let us also not just dismiss it. It is delicate to do that, right? Let's not do that. But let's continue back to the comments now. Yes, we need to discuss about it, Maxwell. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Susan McDonald, the fact is all there is fake. The fact is all there. He is fake. Maxwell said we must talk about it. That's why we're here. If you say, but another thing that may happen here is, in case you have the facts too, you may help us. It's very important. All right, this is our country, not anybody else's. Okay. The clown there isn't Buhari. That's according to Susan McDonald. Nigerians. Susan says Nigerians are easily distracted and it's terrible. Well, distracted by allegation or distracted by something that may be true. It depends on what is distracting you. It may not be distraction after all, right? Philo Ehime, I can't ignore you. You're welcome on the show. I say hi to you. Hello. Razak Ademola, watching from Hounslow West in London, you're welcome. Thank you for joining the show. Olani Yadu, this issue no be issue at all. It's just a distraction. Stephen Kranz is very soon Jibrin will run away. Sally Good News say I don't think it's him. So you can now see that different people believe differently. Now I want to apologize once again those of you watching on Facebook. I am not taking comments from Facebook today because I don't have strong internet to monitor both while also uploading my live stream at the same time. All right, so I'm just managing the little 4G network I have. All right, I hope that in coming days I'll be able to afford buying other sufficient devices that will allow me also monitor Facebook at the same time and bring the comments in so that I can read everything at the same time. But let's remind ourselves that we should be careful while we are alleging, but it's also very important that we all do this by keeping in mind on issues like this. Many Nigerians have been programmed to be zombies, carry out simple research they won't. After we wonder and amaze at the youths of other societies, we don't behave like sheep. Who don't behave like sheep? I mean to read. That's according to Miji Fasashi. And let me also bring this to your attention that it is also possible that, which is already happening by the way, that some opposition members are even trying to leverage on this by trying to also take advantage of this to further, pelt the presidency or this administration, to ruffle it and try to also use propaganda around the allegation. But for me, what the opposition should do if it truly believes in this allegation is to also put their own strength into finding out what is the truth about this after all, so that all of us can know. It's for the benefit of the country. It's not just politics. This is Nigerianness. Israel Odoe Melam said, I never took Nnamdi Kanu serious the very first time he said it, but recently I'm beginning to think twice. Well, the only reason I'm considering this topic is because I've seen it happen before. This is Nigeria. Well, where they were even signed, we heard that they were signing documents, cashing out huge money, amount of money out of Aso Rock, that the documents were purportedly signed by Yar'Adua, whereas Yar'Adua was reportedly dead. Before we knew anything, the time was gone. That is why we can't just dismiss it as just sheer allegation this time. The onus is still on the presidency, like some people are saying. If it were an advanced country, the president would have, even as of the time he was sick, would have come out now to say, this is what I'm being treated for. Please, Nigerians, I need your support, your moral support for this, your kindness, even prayers, if and fasting, if you know how to do all of this. But it turns out that, and we also heard that they have already started campaigning for second term for, somebody we are, even if it were him, the original him, we still don't believe that he should be stressed. If I have an old man of that age, he should have retired. We should be taking care of him at home, not sending him to go and be working for us again. So then to now get to the extent of trying to even clone him as alleged. Clone him so that even if the original one is no longer active, we can have a clone version of him to continue to run the country. That's not good. So that's exactly why we should be concerned, right? Back to the comments. Maxwell says, Shegun, how come the journalists in Nigeria are not digging into the story? Do you not know our journalists in this country? Journalists will be say, why do you think they are working? Is it journalists that have not been paid for how long and they will just give them flag and say, this is your microphone, just interview anybody and collect your envelope. It's your identity ID card and your gadgets with the label of where you are working with already pays you. So what do you think is the aim of journalists going out, even if they have this information? All right. So the reason why they allege that some quarters of the media, especially new media, don't balance stories. The meaning of balancing stories simply means once you have the information, you call the other party says, oh, come and see me, let me give you my side of the story. And in the process of trying to confirm the story, they give you an envelope and you're like, okay, what should I write? Say this. Oh, and you too, what do you think? Then the person will now go back and sit down, embellish it. Is that what you call balancing stories? So at the end of the day, my brothers and sisters, the issue will still take us back to falsehood, allegation, blah, 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 blah. So investigative journalism died with, allegedly trying or supposedly trying to balance stories, because at the end of the day, balancing it simply means you want to compromise it. All right? So, my brother, that's just to give a fast response to that. Somebody says, why is he hiding? Any wonder, so why is he hiding from public appearance? All we hear is Buhari said this or Buhari said that. What does Okorocha now know that made him make such a statement? Same question in my mind though, but I don't just want to dwell on that. Big success. Say hi, Shegun. How you doing, my brother? Razak Ademola saying Nnamdi Kanu is talking rubbish about lifeless Buhari. Shegun, come next year. We are taking back Nigeria. All right, I wish you all the best. Razak Ademola came back saying, talking about Nigeria journalists are communicate seeking guys. Okay, communicate seeking guys. They are always looking for communicate instead of investigating the actual thing, right? Let me continue to see how I can rush the comments. They are getting more now. Where did I stop? I skipped something, right? Okay. Let Love God say someone can take his hair and run the DNA. God bless you. First, as a point of correction, we are not waiting for proof. The proof is already here. What's the proof, bro? I said the proof that I have seen so far are not strong, even though they can be lead. They can be lead into actually investigating, but they are not strong proof of fact in themselves. Because if you are giving me an example of the hair, that somebody can do surgery and some things get corrected about them. Even me, my flat nose, I've seen people go for plastic surgery, and then their nose get pointed again, like that of President Buhari. Shegun, be serious. Okay, let's continue. All right, say Samuel Kelebi say, I'm watching you here in Germany live. By the truth of the issue, that man Buhari is not the real. The British know what they are doing. They are the cabal, the Waterloo Tower, oil, ammonia resources. Excellency, for me, now that people are making it an issue, it's getting at my attention. However, the only issue I have is that these things have come at a time where we can't afford mere distractions. Anyone that say, why is he hiding from public? I think I already read that, and let me scroll to the other comments. All right. Ernest Jazz say, which party did you belong now? Me or Buhari or Jibrin? I don't belong to a party as I speak with you right now. Excellency, lastly, Yar'Adua's issue came at a time when it obviously was in Nigeria's interest. 2 years into Yar'Adua's admin. However, now some people stand to benefit from it, the opposition and naysayers. Excellence says, which is why I doubt the genuinity. Okay. Big Success say that's why Buhari go to France to go and cover the truth. Fun White say laugh out loud. Anyone there? For me, this Buhari is younger than the one we voted for in 2015, and his pronouncement of words has really improved. What shall I say now? Okay, let's continue. Mon, that man there is not Buhari. Let him tell Nigerians what he was treated for at London for more than 3 months. Funwise say, are you talking Jabril? He. Maxwell say, Shegun, all over the world Nigerians are known to be smart people, but within Nigeria they are not smart to find the truth. Why? It depends on what makes you smart. Fun White says maybe he got speech therapy. God bless you. Somebody is now saying what I am thinking. Somebody can go through surgery, correct a few things about the way they look. Even plastic surgery is there. It's also possible you go through some, speech therapy and the rest of them, It is also possible. So why I'm saying this is not to defend the allegation or to say those things are not true, but it's to say that there are some supposed evidences that are easily dismissed by the way they appear. You know, for instance, while you are giving proof of something, you should try to argue against it by yourself to see what if common sense should tell me I can also argue this now. The one that cannot be argued, that no other argument can be superior over as yet, is the one that will therefore be upheld. So that is why when we are alleging on one side, we are also looking at, but you can also disprove this by this other claim now. So let us, until we get that thing that is outright truth, all right, we may not exactly be correct about allegations that we are making, but at the same time, we shouldn't dismiss the allegations, because at the end of the day, they may turn out to be true if we continue to use the lead we have right now. So continue to monitor and follow them up. We may get it, right? So I don't want to go too far now. I want to just do a little and then, but some more comments are coming in, and I want to see how I can quickly rush them and close the show. I don't intend for this show to be too long. I want it to be a very concise broadcast. So, Susan says it's impossible for Jibrin to come back as healthy as he was. No, it wasn't Jibrin that went for treatment. It is being alleged that it is Jibrin that came back. All right, it's impossible for Jibrin to come back as healthy as he was, with full hair and looking 15 years younger after undergoing a brain death surgery. Compare Buhari visitation to US in 2015 and Jibrin in 2018. Well, okay, big success says, please God come and help our country. Sunday Ogunkoya says, that man in presidency position is Buhari, that is all. Nigerians should get themselves busy, period. And period, I'm going to stop the broadcast at this time. And I want to say thank you all for staying on the show. Facebook family, how are you? I'll continue to bring more programs. I want to start creating more time to be live with you people now. Until I come your way again, fellow Nigerians, I want to say keep talking about things that matter. And I leave you with the topic we had today. My name is Shegolo once again. Until I come your way again, keep talking about things that matter, but hold the facts. And don't just be exhaustive of other possible logic. Am I correct? Thank you very much. I'll see you again, and until then, mwah.